Hello everyone, welcome back to my blanket fort. My name is Tessadoodle and I will be your host today. Today we will be working on fins, whether they're shark fins or fish fins. In that area, we're going to be working on those today. But before we start working on those, we are going to do our sip of the day. So go ahead and go get your favorite beverage and then get your favorite mug, glass, or bowl, tankard, whatever you'd like to get. And we're gonna take a sip together. So I'm gonna give you a second, pause the video, and go get your stuff. And once you have everything all together, go ahead and take a sip with me in 3, 2, 1. Alright, I got water again today. I felt like being healthy, so water's what we're gonna be doing. Alright, now that we have gotten our sip of today, wow, the sip of today, the sip of the day, we are going to be continuing on more mermaid stuff. So we are doing fins today. There are so many different types of fins. We're just gonna focus on a couple of them, I think, would be best. But the main ones that I understand are, we have our bony fins, which is kind of what you see in a lot of fish. And you have webbing connecting them, kind of like that. Yeah, something similar to that. You see that on a lot of like dragon, ocean dragon, stuff like that. Just stuff like that. So that I understand. These are the bone parts here, and then you just have the webbing connecting, and whenever you draw these, you want to make it so they also go down, because that's just how they work. Something like that. It's like if someone was like running their hand across the fin, and so that they can hold it in their hand. Unless you don't want to make it that way, that's okay too. That's just something I'm thinking about. But, alright. So, I looked this up. And give me a second to erase everything. Okay. So, I looked this up. And there are different types of fins. And I found this wonderful person who did kind of like an anatomy thing on the fins. Whoops. Right. So, this is by, I can't pronounce her name. It's Allographica or Athographica or something similar. Her name is right here. She is on Discord and I believe other platforms in general. She does some awesome anatomy stuff on there, so go and check her out. But I saw this and I thought it'd be a lot easier to kind of understand the different types of fins. We won't get deep into them, but I'll, it kind of, all the stuff she points out is kind of what those fins are for and what they do. But definitely check her out if you want to learn more anatomy stuff for different animals, because I've noticed she has a lot of those. Alright. So, fish fins. Alright, looks like there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 fins. Technically you got pairs for 6 and 5, but that's okay. So it looks like dorsal fin, So the dorsal fin is up here. It looks like it stabilizes the fish and assists it in sudden turns. So that kind of helps steering. I don't know how to say this word, but I'll let you guys read it and figure it out yourself. It doesn't look like it has a specific function, but they say here it might be a direct water, like to help it detect water flow, maybe? Not sure. Of course, I call it the canal fin, but it's not that. Canal fin? Basically, the back fin. The big fin on the back. This just helps it, what is it called? It's what helps the fish move forward and can also make them go faster as well, I guess. Pectoral fins, which is number 6 over here. It looks like these help with balance and turning, which can be quite interesting when you know how the fins work. Pelvic fins. These stabilize the fish in the water, I guess. And again, you can look at this picture and read through it. And then the anal fin. It's usually used for balance and turning as well. So a lot of these are like balance, turning, I can't say it. They get pushed forward. Proportion? I can't say it. I'm trying, but it's not working. Propulsion. No, I tried. But it looks like mainly, like all these fins are very important. So I'll probably most likely put these on the mermaids that I do on their tails, just to be a little more accurate. Depending on what fish they are, because you have... Well, no, sharks are similar in that way as well. Alright, and then there's different types of fins. So it looks like we'll do 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, so the number 1 is forked fin. So this can help with long distances. Number 2, they can move really fast, but they don't have very good I don't know how to say it. They can't direct themselves as well. Number 3 is the rounded. They can be slower, but they can definitely maneuver a lot easier. Tourniquet, I believe, is number 4. Can be slow, but it's good with fast bursts as well when they move forward. Alright, we'll do 5, 6, 7, and 8. 5 is what you see on a lot of sharks in general. Is all they really tell on this one. Number 6. I don't know how to pronounce that. I've never seen that tail before, but it's probably on a fish I've never seen before. Then we have number 7, which looks like it's on eels mainly. And then we have number 8. This is like the most common tail type you find, apparently. Alright, so we kind of got an idea of it. So if you wanted to be more accurate with the mermaid you decide to draw, you can kind of look at these and be like, okay, what do I want them to be? Slower, but they're really good at, you know, this or that. Or if you wanted to, whatever you'd like to do. Also keep in mind, you could try to have them going side to side like a shark when they swim, but you can also do like a dolphin. Keep that in mind. You can also do dolphin tails or whale tails, however you'd like to see them. Alright, now that we've kind of gone over the fins a little bit, again, go check her out. You can look at this picture and kind of get a better idea of the different types of fins, and I'll put her picture in the link below on her DeviantArt. Alright. Now we should look at the different types of fins. Now, unless you're doing a specific fish, I don't think you have to do like this or that type of fin. You can kind of make your own, but we're gonna go by some pictures that we found. Okay. So this one looks like, well, it is that shape right there. There it is, nice and easy. And it looks like it tapers down. You have a little bit of an indent there, but you know, it doesn't matter that much when you're just drawing it for fun. Or at least I don't think so. But so it looks like that. Nice and easy. That's all it is. And then all you do, that I understand, is you're just gonna add the bone pieces, which looks like they're closer. Wow, these lines are horrible. There we go. Yeah. Normally it looks like they come to a point kind of like that. If you wanted to. Kind of like that maybe? And that's all the webbing in between. You could also, if you wanted to, instead of just doing lines like this, you could also make it more into a actual like spike. Something like that, if you wanted to. Nice and easy. Okay. So it looks like fins can be multiple different types. Like, see, this one's a little bit different on the shape. I think this is actually, what is this? Yeah, it's still the dorsal fin. And this one, just that shape right there. And like I'm using references. You can do that to kind of get a better idea of how things go. Looks like normally the bone pieces are normally a lot closer together. So keep that in mind. It looks like normally you have a little bit of frill, so you can do this like little, there we go, something a little, you don't have to do anything specific. All you gotta do for the edge is kind of like this. And if you follow, so let's see, for that, go like that. Up, it's like a wide triangle, a little off triangle in a way. But if I were to draw it, I think I would do something like this. I'm doing a little more spaced out. Okay, so instead of having webbed like that, it's a little different, it looks like. And actually, technically, I should just have it coming up like that. So it looks like it has like this. I'm literally just scribbling on the top. You can kind of do an up-down motion. When you get to the bony part, you go up, and then you go down, and then you go up and down. You're just dipping. All you're doing is just scribbling. And then that makes an interesting little, it looks a little more interesting. Something like that. Alright, so we've kind of done a little bit of dorsal fins. And there's another one, something a little more rounded. Again, it looks like it's that web look. You have the lines, and then you see here it's kind of webbed. Nice and easy. Something like that. So all you're doing for the webbing is you're just connecting the two. And sometimes you can bring it above the bone part, and sometimes you'll just connect it there. And just little wide U's, if you want to call it that. But we kind of did a couple dorsal fins. We're going to do something like this. Now these, I have no idea how these, I think they're called guppies. Or betta fish. Something like that. I don't know how they work. But these are like a little more flowy. So I think mainly with these fish, I think what happens, it has boning right there, but once it gets more towards the tip area, what happens is it kind of just flows together because there's no boning in it, or it's very soft. Same thing for down here, I think. Again, you get boning at the very beginning, most likely, and then it kind of just flows together. Probably the boning comes out to about there, most likely. So you can have different types of tails. And then you can, if you want to look more flowy, you can add a little bit more flow in the back if you want to. Now we have like our, what is it, dorsal fin? No, it's not dorsal. What is it called? Pectoral fin. Alright, so same concept, I believe. Is you just have, you start at the base right there. And there you go. Nice and easy. And I know there are different types of pectoral, because there's like, you have really sharp pectoral fins. Let's do that better. You can have like round pectoral fins. And again, I would go and look this up. I couldn't find a lot of the different types, but I just probably wasn't looking hard enough. But the other thing to remember is on fish that I've noticed, these fins are always up here unless it's like a shark or a dolphin. They are never, which I see a lot of people do, and I do it too sometimes, but the fins normally that I understand are never out like this. Unless they're a specific type of fish maybe. But these normally come out that way. Something like that. They normally come forward, not downwards like that. So when you're drawing a mermaid, you're doing regular fins, like fish fins. You really think about it. Their fins would probably be more on the side. I don't know, that's a weird angle to be able to do it. Let's see if we can do it a different way. Okay. So their fins, whoops, would be kind of like this. Okay. Yeah. Oops. kind of like that. Accurately, anatomy-wise, technically, if they have fish fins, their fins would be to the side like that. Now, if it's a dolphin fin or a shark fin, it would be out here more. And this is not going to be accurate, the look of it, but you're going to kind of get an idea. The fins would be out more like this. It would be down and kind of out to the side more than up here. So keep that in mind when you're drawing mermaids. If you're doing more of a dolphin look, you want the fins down. If you're doing more of a regular fish look, technically you want the fins up here on the side of the body. Just like that. Okay. So, since we've kind of worked on that a little bit, kind of got an idea of how the boning works a little bit. And there's our shark. We can do a little bit of sharks. Let's do a little bit of sharks here. Alright. So, sharks don't have any, like, fish fins. They have more of a not a skeletal. I don't know how to explain it, but these are more solid. Alright. So normally that I understand they have this, just that. It's like a wave. It's kind of like when you draw waves, create a circle and then you kind of copy it. And a circle and you kind of copy it. Something similar to that. With sharks, looks like you kind of do that and it always attaches on the back. Or it might come in a little bit and then go out, but mainly I always see it come down and swoop like that. And then we have our fin right here. And I think that's not connected. I don't think it's connected to this little part. I may be wrong. And then the shark fin is a little different because he goes side to side. They always have this little bump right here. It's very odd, but it's beautiful. But yes, there's all sorts of different types of fins, but if you're gonna do a shark mermaid, then this is the fin that you would want. So shark and dolphin fins and whale fins are solid, and then the regular fish fins aren't solid, they are more transparent and bony. So that's the best way to think about it. Alright, so let's draw a few fins. We'll do 3 different types. Alright, we'll just do, let's see, we'll do the dorsal fin and then we'll do the pectoral mainly. And candle fin, whatever it's called, the back fin. Fin that everyone knows about. So let's do this. We'll do more of that kind of shape. I'm gonna draw some vertical lines. Vertical? Semi-vertical. Slightly slanted vertical lines. Just like that. And you know what we're gonna do? Actually gonna erase these. There we go. You can do that if you want to. That actually makes it a lot easier. That's something for you to do if you're doing digital work. You can just draw the line up here and then erase it afterwards. And then you can just connect these. And I'm gonna do kind of spiky. Whee! And whoop, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. And then connect to the back. That is our bony fish. There you go. And it doesn't have to be even all the way through. Even though it does show that, you don't need to make it even. Like, you see it's not completely even here. That's okay. Alright, now we're doing, I'm not remembering this, pectoral fins. So, let's do something similar to what this shows right here. So it's kind of a diamond shape. Oh, I did a very wide. Here we go. We're gonna start from over here, always with adding the boning part. And do something simple like that. It doesn't have to be complicated. We could add a little bit of, instead of having it flat, if we wanted to, we could kind of add a little bit of wear and tear to the fin. Just scribble. That's all you gotta do. Just scribble. Little scribbles. And then we can do our back fin. We will do let's do this one right here. Oh, I don't know how to say it. The one that looks like a partial heart. Oh, that's a good way to look at it. It's a heart. Okay, so this one looks like a heart. Kind of like that. That's really interesting. There you go. It's a heart. That's all that fin is. And we can add a little... Just right there. Okay, we'll do something like that. That kind of works. And then the boning always comes from the base. Doesn't have to be really detailed if you don't want to. And again, if you don't want it to look perfect, you want it to look a little wear and tear, just do a little bit of scribbling. Just like that. And there you go. You got your back fin, whatever you'd like to call it. Alright. So now that we've kind of done like a boning look. Boning fins. Alright, now we're gonna do... let's do our shark fins, or kind of more like whales. So whales, dolphins, and sharks have different types of shapes for their fins. Like, that I understand, whales kind of have more of this elongated type fin. And then I believe dolphins kind of have more of a... well, that's not right. That's more of a turtle. And this is why we look at references. Kind of like that. And then sharks have more like pointed fins, I believe. I'd have to double check. But we are going to do a shark fin. So let's look at this. Alright, so what it looks like is, it looks like a triangle with an oval. Or you could think of the whole thing as a triangle with a little bit of an indent. Let's think that. Okay, it's a triangle. Nice and easy with a little indent. Alright, so we'll go, I'm sorry, let's go with the top. The top is a slightly warped triangle. That's all it is. So all we do, we're gonna bring it like that. Well, let's see how much. Yeah, that's about it. And we can add just a point if we want to. And then it connects down there. And connects in the front. So that's all it is. It's a little warp, so you're gonna push this wall out. Just like I did there. And you're just gonna kind of follow that pattern. You're just pulling these lines out. Okay, so we'll do fin. You can make them a lot taller if you wanted to. Like, that looks like a scary shark. That actually looks more like an orca fin, but we're not going to get into that. So we'll kind of go like that and come down and connect. Just like that. There's our shark fin for the top. Then down here, we do our dorsal fin. And it looks like it comes in like this. And then it connects right here to the body. So, it's just a triangle, a little bit of a warp. So, triangle. Alright, add a little bit of a warp there. And erase that part. It's a triangle, nice and easy. Alright, and then, let me redraw this because this will look better. Oh, no, did that wrong. See? I did it wrong. Go. Something kind of like that. Alright, and then let's do the tail. The tail is the most iconic part of a shark. Other than the top fin, the dorsal fin. Dorsal? Yes, I think so. So all it is 2 triangles. That's all it is. Nice and easy. So that, and it's a big triangle here, and then it's a little triangle right here. Look at that shapes. It's amazing. So that's all they are. Oops, I made that too thin. And then you can also add, technically you have another triangle right there. But if you want to make it really simple, just do that. My lines are not straight. Goodness gracious. Has this little bump here, which I want to add. Little notch, and it comes down. Turns out into that other triangle. I think it needs to be a little sharper. It works. I need to come in more at a point probably about there. And it could probably, I can probably do this. This might help a little bit. Just need to come down more. Oh, there we go. Look, it's a shark fin. Just had to change the angle. Okay. We kind of got an idea right there of the two different types of fins. Okay. So let's now move all of these over to the side. Actually, we'll make you disappear for now. There we go. Let's make this both disappear right now. Okay, then we're gonna do like the boning fish type look, except we're gonna add a lot of like flow to it to make it a little more fun. You could kind of make the tails like a ribbon in a way. So what I mean by that is ribbons are very flowy and they have two sides. All right, and these sides can cross. Whoops, I did that poorly. This, and then come back over and twist, come back over again. So it can be very twisty, I guess. And so you see you have like, this is the top side, this is the down side, switches over to the top side again, down side. You'd actually connect it there and there. Like, it has two sides and you have this ribbon that goes whee. It's hard to describe, but you can do something like this to the flowy tails if you want to make it look a little more dynamic, if you'd like to. Alright, so let's say do something like this. Nope. We'll kind of have it, well, we'll do something like this. I don't know. Okay. So the boning part would be about like this. Depending on which type you do. Let's say we're doing like a round like this. So of course you'd start out at the base and add your detail there. Then after this, instead of stopping right here, you can like extend it if you want to. We'll do a red, it might be easier to see. Ah! There we go. It's like a big ribbon. And I'm making this very, very flowy. And basically, if you want to make this look really flowy, if you do this side, so this side I did an in, out, in flow. And so basically you want to match it on this side unless it's like twisting. So in, out, in. Just like that. Then all you do is once you match that pattern on both sides, just staggered, you just connect the matching points. Now I'm gonna make it so I have this coming up here. And again, this might take a while to like get used to or do, and that's okay. I'll do something on ribbons a little bit later, but you can also look it up. Look up how to do ribbons on YouTube and you'll find videos. Okay. If you want to, you can add extra detail, like something like that, or the end, instead of having like a cutoff point like a ribbon like this, like a flat, you could do something a little different. And you can do a little bit of a something like that. Oh, my brain is messing up where things are. Okay. So, to make this a better idea. make this darker. This lighter. And you could have it see-through as well, just a little bit, so you can kind of have those lines showing a little bit, but it might be a little confusing if you do. So what you'd want to do is probably cover them a little bit more, so it looks like it's more behind the object. Jeez. You know, something like that. So if you want to, you could do that to make it a little more flowy. You can do multiple different types of things. That's just an example of something you could do with fins. And I'll clean that up later. But that's like really, really flowy. We'll put that to the side. Alright, now we're gonna do our second portion of that. Same thing. Technically, it would be more facing up like this. So we'll get the main shape of the fin, what we want it to look like. Add our boning lines. There you go. Nice and easy. If you wanted to, you can do this. Erase that. And then this you can make just a little flowy. You know, it doesn't have to be anything crazy. And you can kind of have those lines fall through if you wanted to. And like you could have, you wouldn't have the boning part actually go through, but you would have kind of the design of it kind of flowing through if you wanted to. Something like that. And then our top part. Dorsal fin. We'll do something like that. Same thing. Put the boning on there. Erase the top. And you can do nice little thing. You can add a little tail if you want to on the end. Oops. Something like that, maybe, if you wanted to. There you go. That's kind of the idea of these. And what I'll do is I will put these all together, and then I will critique them, and then we will talk about them in a second. But that's kind of how I think about them, that I can understand from what I got. I'm glad I looked them up. So we have, like, we'll call these like the more sharp boning fish fins, the boning fins, and then you have like more of the softer flesh fins, which are like sharks, dolphins, and manatees, creatures like that. And then you have the more flowy boning ones, where it's kind of like you have the boning and then you add an extra little bit of length to it, and it's just fin. But yeah, that's pretty much all for what I'm going to be working on. So I'm going to put these all together and then I will critique them in a minute. Alright, now that we're done with our fins, I think I am really happy with just in general being able to go through and kind of get an idea of how fins work. And just exploring, figuring out new things. I think if I could fix anything, probably a little more realistic, maybe, and probably making these a little more see-through like they should be. But other than that, I really enjoyed doing this. I think this is a scale from 1 to 10, how many stars you get. I'd probably put this around a 6 or a 7. Same thing as last week. But I'm really happy with these. So if you guys want to, go ahead and hang out below in the tent fort. Wow, this is awkward. I'm trying so hard, but it's not working. Oh my. But I'm gonna head out, so all of you can hang out below if you'd like to. Talk, chat, hang out, whatever you'd like to do. And I will see y'all later. So have a wonderful rest of your day.